Alright, missiles away! Let's go after this tactical cruiser down here. Oh. Well, I kind of wasted the torpedoes, but I think I might have got away with it. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Panzer here, and welcome to Dreadnought. This is a very, very good looking space bame? Yes, space bame. Very good looking space bame. That's currently in closed beta at the moment, and what you're looking at here is a ship of the Destroyer class, and there are many, many classes besides. So what is this game? It is a, well, it's an upcoming, I guess, free-to-play. I believe it's going to be going free-to-play. Space shooter. Well, it's team-based space shooter, and you play in these giant ships. Now, the Destroyer, this looks pretty big, but there are bigger ships besides. For example, there is the Dreadnought that shares the namesake. Right, so that is the Dreadnought, and oh my god, it is big. It is very, very big. In fact, you'll get a sense of scale once we jump into a match. You can actually see just how absolutely massive these things are. And you get one from the beginning. You do. In fact, let's have a look at these. So, we're going to trader ships. Now, these are rental ships that you are given at the beginning. They're all sort of mid-range ships. So, the Athos, Zemay, Valkor, Svarog, and Ion are all sort of the mid-tier of the actual classes that they represent. So if we have a look at the market where you can buy stuff, now all these prices are not finalized yet at all. This is a closed beta after all. And really, if we have a look at, for example, well, let's go to the biggest one, the Dreadnoughts. So you actually start off being able to access the lightest of the Dreadnoughts, which is the Invictus, and you actually need rank 15 to unlock the Zemay. But the top tier, of course, being the one at rank 25 there. So you can have a look at that. Like, it's really just not a bad selection to begin with. Now, I'm going to show you one that I made myself. This right here, which can be renamed, of course, is the KRIEG. It's a Gora class heavy destroyer, and it is pretty. That's all I can really say about it. It's very pretty. All the ships are fully customizable to the point where, let's have a look at the appearance, right? So you have entire parts of the ship can be swapped out. Now these are part of currently what is the hero set of things. So as the game gets closer to release, and of course as the game is released, there'll probably be more of these cosmetic parts available. But you can have a look here that this is the Huskarl's forecastle, and you can even have one with an emblem as well if you want to. And that is a pretty elaborate piece already. It's got a nice little helipad on the top there, and you can do the same with the hull itself. You can actually see it adds some new additions there. The bridge, you can see a dramatic difference there, and the stern as well has sort of new phalanges on it. I don't know what you call it, but yeah, so that's the appearance. Now the loadouts is where it gets interesting, because a lot of the things will affect the way the ship is played. Now at the base level you start off with the lowest level equipment, which is still effective, make no mistake. Some of the items here are side grades. So the basic primary weapons of a ship cannot be modified, but the secondaries can. So we have these flak turrets here, which do massive damage at close range, and we can switch those over with these rocket turrets, which do slightly less damage, but are able to go up to mid-range. And then we've got these particle turrets that have the longest range and highest accuracy, but the weakest damage. So you can actually see there just how much the customizability is already, just by looking at the secondary weapons. Now we've got the main abilities. So these are your primary active abilities. And you've got a bunch of things you can do here. So we've got some missile launchers, we've even got a heavy nuclear torpedo, and we've also got a bunch of things. For example, ramming modules, which will allow you to boost the strength of a ramming attack. You can ram enemy ships. You can also upgrade to other types of missiles, or you can even go to nuclear torpedoes if you want to. We also have torpedo launchers, which will allow us with different types of missiles here. So a torpedo salvo will just do a simple single target damage, but a drain torpedo will actually absorb the energy from their reactors, and we've got things that, you know, will break the weapons temporarily, or by, well, it says decreases weapon damage, so if you hit an enemy with this, they'll do less damage to you. But we also have other things like weapon boosters, which have the opposite effect and only targets allies, which is quite interesting because there are support ships as well. And then we have a bunch of little close range modules, which are sort of our active area of effects. So you can have like an aura around your ship, essentially. So weapon booster will boost weapon damage, pulse will drain energy. We have anti-nucleasers, so if there's nuclear warheads coming in, which do massive amounts of damage, you want to be very careful about that. You'll probably want to have these available. And if you've got, well, scramblers are very good for sort of fast-moving corvettes, because they work just like flashbangs, essentially. They prevent you from seeing what's going on and confusing the enemy. And of course we've got the jump drive. This is your last sort of, think of it as a self-booster. So you can actually boost different parts of your own ship's ability, or you can boost your energy generator to allow you to use abilities more often. Well, I've chosen to go with a jump drive because this ship is particularly slow, so that's what I've decided to do. And then lastly, we've got a bunch of passives which all have different effects, and some of these are activated on certain triggers. For example, in this case, the weapons officer, or rather the communications officer, will remove all debuffs and refill energies and reset module cooldowns if your health falls below a certain amount, which is actually very useful. So you can see here that a lot of things are very sort of side grades. Like these passives that you have here, you don't need to change these. They give you a base sort of effect already. They don't just give you nothing. But you can also boost them with something else, with an additional kind of booster thing as well. So you can switch them out and have different effects. So very, very interesting there. I really am looking forward to seeing where this goes to. But without further ado, let's jump into a match and see how we do. Here we go. Now, this is not the battlefield, this is actually the setup screen. So, a very elaborate screen then. You can actually preview your ship and what other people have picked as well as they join the match. And we can have a look at what they're changing to as well. If we hit C, we can actually choose ships, so we can choose from our own or we can choose rentals. The only real difference is that if you were to choose one of these, you have a better ship, but you are going to pay for it with your winnings. So you actually earn less overall than if you were to go in with your own ship. I'm going to go with mine, and let's ready up by hitting space. I think we did that already. There we go. And let the match begin. So you can see there's no freeze time at the start. It's already all systems go. We've got an Invictus cruiser off there to our left, and we're going to try and guard him as much as possible, I think. So there, they look like they've been hit by something. Gonna let the tactical cruiser stay on them. So, one thing to learn about the movement system in this game, everything seems to move very, very slowly. So you really need to plan ahead, just like you would imagine a lot of ships to need to do. So you really got to play this kind of like World of Warships, but even slower somehow, because of just how much more methodical you need to be. That being said though, make no mistake, this is not a slow game. You really still need to be well aware of what's going on, because things can get very messy very quickly. Alright, so we've got an enemy out there to our right. Alright, so we got missile locked there on Patrick Swayze. Nobody's ever said that before. But he's been taken out, so we don't need to do that. Now, what's interesting to note is that you have vertical movement in this game. So, unlike a lot of sort of naval battle games, you really have a lot of vertical movement to really think about. He might be slightly out of our range there. Alright, so we're going to move a little bit ahead of these guys.
Thank you.
I see a couple of pulses over there. I wonder if somebody might be hiding behind there. We can actually see them on our sensors now. There is a corvette right there. Don't want to move into that. There is, however, also a Dreadnought that's just respawned there. Alright, let's go hit this artillery cruiser with a bunch of missiles. There we go, missiles are away. And you can see those actually go up high and will arc around, so... Are they going to hit? Are they going to get blocked? I think they've been blocked by the building there. So you can see how overpowerful missiles can be. They are very easily confused by the concept of buildings. So that is your best defense against them. Alright, going to drop down a little bit here. We are a little bit exposed right now. Very, very exposed. And keep aware of where our teammates are right now. So yeah, there's no strafing in this game, which really confused me at first. So you really have to control it exactly like a ship. Now you'd imagine that having side thrusters as you would, that you might actually be able to do that, but no, it really is just a case of no, you've really got to be aware of your movements and just point the ship in the right direction. Now thankfully the ships are covered in turrets, so there's not going to be an angle that you can't fire your guns at all. That is not a thing that happens. I'm trying to overwhelm them with firepower here. Now bear in mind, you can use shields, but shields only last so long. Alright, shields up! Can we take those missiles coming to us? We can. Alright, let's stop that for now. Fire the torpedoes. Alright, we got that kill. We need to get out of here now, though. It seems like our engine's been damaged because we can only point downwards right now, which is a bit weird. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I can't go up anymore. Oh, there we go. So, you remember when I said this was chaotic? Yeah. Not to worry though, in Team Deathmatch you can absolutely respawn, so no issues there. And you can actually get a very nice breakdown of how you got killed and what you got killed by. And you can even have a look at your teammates here and have a look at what they're actually running. So this right here is an Ion Tactical Cruiser, and this here is a Fulgora Corvette. We've got the Invictus that we saw earlier, still going strong for now. There's a massive hull breach there. No, he's dead. And there's a Hostile Destroyer. Alright, and we've respawned, so off we go then. So you might have seen me pulling up this radial wheel earlier, and that actually is your generator control. You can actually boost certain systems. So right now we want to boost thrust. Well, I just have to hold E and move my mouse upwards. Now that's a very console thing, but I have no complaints about that because it's a very fast system. Because of course if I want to stop it at any time, I just press E and it stops. So it's a very, very quick selection way of doing it. There are definitely much worse ways of doing it. And I'm quite happy that they've chosen to go this way. I'm going to let the Invictus go out in front again. And then we'll follow them through. Alright, we've got missile locks. I'm going to fire off all our missiles there. We do have range for guns though. Alright, going to switch to the flak turrets here. I don't know if it's out of our range. Missiles are scoring good hits though. And switch back to the cannons for the Ryuzuken over there. Alright, let's try to get the jump on them now. So pointing in this direction, hit 4. And you can see the two different points where it's actually going to warp to. It's quite a decent distance for something that's basically a blink. And you can see quite far in advance where that's going to get you. Now, this is not where I wanted to be because I didn't want to jump into the fight immediately. But it looks like I'm going to have to fight him. So I'm going to just throw everything at him now. Alright. Putting the shields up so we can deflect those missiles. It's really what they're mainly for. We are still going to take damage, no doubts about that. Alright, let's hit him with the guns. No, not helping there. So yeah, destroyers can't take on dreadnoughts directly. That's something that we've learned today. Alright, missiles away! Let's go after this tactical cruiser down here. Oh. Well, I kind of wasted the torpedoes, but I think I might have got away with it. Alright, somebody just blinked away. There they are. Oh, you are not getting away, Sonny. So, full power to weapons, let's finish him. No, little missiles hitting us. Okay. Yep, little damage there. Little bit of damage there. We are in a little bit of trouble. So you might have noticed as well, there is regenerative health. Now some people might be like, well, that's a bit weird, isn't it? But it actually makes sense because the ship's this large. You do have things like damage control. So it sort of makes sense that you would be able to kind of keep the ship going. Although, maybe not realistically at this sort of rate, but you know what? I'm okay with it in this situation. I am very much okay with it. There's a bunch of us behind us now. Yeah, we got him. Alright, let's try to get this destroyer up here. So there goes the missiles away. I'm being pushed by something.
Put an end to that pile of scrap.
I thought we're doing quite alright, actually. It's a close game still, though. They've just walked away. Alright, there's a Corvette over to our left there. Oh! Match is over. Wow, everybody looks like clones. So yeah, these are the characters that you can create, and they're also customizable as well. So one would assume, of course, that you get more and more parts to play with. More costumes. You can basically play space dress up at a certain point in this. And let's see, we've got 4 kills and 2 deaths, 6 assists. I'd say we did alright. I'd say we did alright. We didn't do as well as Gromit over there in the Huskal, but you know what? I'm gonna take that. You know, as far as first matches go, I'm happy with that. So yeah, that's a very quick look at Dreadnought. Let me know if you want to see more of this, because it is actually a very interesting game, and I really enjoy playing it, partly because I'm actually not terrible at it. And let me know what you think of the game, and are you already in the closed beta? Or are you looking forward to the game? Or do you have any questions about the game in general? Feel free to leave it down in the comments below, and let me know what you think of it. Don't forget to leave a like if you've enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. My name is Panzer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.